Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today we'll be reviewing the movie Trap.
The movie stars John Hartnett, Ariel, Donoghue, and Shyamalan.
So this is the latest film from M. Night Shyamalan, and it features Cooper and his daughter Riley as they're attending the Lady Raven concert. And Cooper finds out that he is trapped inside the concert and has no way from getting out before being detected by the police. So we follow him as the paranoia and the subject of the film starts setting in. So we'll get into the review and I'll start us off today. So I enjoyed this film. I found it a bit lacking on the suspense, probably because from the trailer you get the immediacy that he is the butcher, and so that kind of little thrill is lost. I did find enjoyment in the fact that we only learn what the character knows, so it's not switching between, say, the back room with the FBI and we know what they're planning. We're learning it as the character's learning it, so it's something that's nice to see and is a bit refreshing for a film like that. Kind of reminds me of the last 40 minutes of The Next 3 Days with Russell Crowe. It's that, will he get out? How will he get out? And are they going to catch him? And as things seem to close in, he buys himself another 5 minutes. I think that the music was good, quite a nice soundtrack for the film, and really had that kind of Taylor Swift vibe to it. M. Night Shyamalan's daughter was the Lady Raven character, so interesting to see that family dynamic play out, and he makes a cameo as the uncle of his own daughter, so that was always good to see a good cameo and always good to see M. Night in the films. But yeah, I think that as a thriller or any kind of horror, it's a bit lacking. It's still a good watch, interesting, but I think that Josh Hartnett, the actor himself, he just has this kind of psychopath kind of look to him the whole time. So that's it. He tries to switch it in the film. You could see he's trying to make a collective decision to switch between the normal dad and then the murderer, but it starts to get lost very early, and that's really my only gripe with it. But other than that, enjoyable watch. Cameron?
Yeah, look, coming into this, I watched the trailer and I was really excited for the idea behind the serial killer being trapped inside a concert, as for me that's close to home because I go to a lot of concerts, and so I thought the idea it was enticing for me to witness this idea, but then, I don't know, it kind of fell short for me because, I don't know, I couldn't take this movie very serious. It had a very comedic undertone for me. Like the way they would face the camera for the dialect really took me out of it. It felt like a cheap commercial at some stage. So dialogue between the merchant and the butcher at the start, it was very comedic, and it took away all suspense it wasn't really there until from the start it was there, but then as the movie progressed, the tension was pretty much non-existent. And I didn't really, because the tension was there, I didn't really care for the butcher as much as I should have, is he going to get caught? Will he get caught sort of thing? But yeah, it fell short for me, and yeah, that's my thoughts. And then?
Yep. So I didn't watch any trailer, so I had no idea what this movie is about. And I think that was a great decision because, so I didn't even know what it's, so he's the butcher. I had no idea. And so as the movie progresses, so I'm more into the character, and I felt the tension was there, and Josh Hartnett for me really killed this role. So for me, so when he was switching to say he's being caught by the police, so I felt like he's that psychopath, so he would switch to other character. the movie sort of derailed for me when they left the concert, so they had to go somewhere else, and sort of then the tension derailed for me. But it kind of gained back when one of the characters left. No spoilers here. But the major issue is with Lady Raven. I think her acting was a bit flat, so sometimes she was fine, sometimes it's just very flat. And after the concert, anything which included her was, I think, was a misstep. But the way movie ended, I'm really happy with the way it ended because so there is no twist at the end. And as an M Night fan, I think that was a great pick because this movie didn't need a twist. I really enjoyed this movie for what it was.
Yeah, I don't know if you thought about it, but the whole up to when he got backstage with Lady Raven was like, I think the best part of
Yeah,
that
100%.
film.
Yes.
The like Agent 47 going behind the counter and going backstage, infiltrating between the cops. That was awesome. It was the back end of the film that lost me.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, I completely understand what you mean. And it was like once he made that choice, there was no getting out of it.
Yeah, so
Like, even if he successfully got out, there was no.
Yeah, I think if they stayed in the concert, maybe found some other way, and maybe at the end, maybe get out or not. But yeah, I think they should have stayed inside the concert.
I think what didn't help was, for me, with the tension in the actual concert, was that it was always a bit too easy for me that he'd always be sort of one step ahead. In a way, it's funny. So for me, I kind of got like it's taking the mickey out of it.
Yeah,
and that's why the tension wasn't there for me, because it was just like, oh yeah, he's sort of walking past and he's realizing this and that and sort of helping the guy get the thing down to get the key card. Like you said, it's very video game-esque. It was like I was playing a video, like you said, Hitman. And it was just, so that's why, I don't know, I just anticipated a bit more pulsating, will he sort of questions about it, but it just sort of was flat every time. It was just like, yeah, he's got the radio now, he's hearing everything, and then whatever the FBI agent's saying, he's then not doing what she's saying. So does that make sense? So it's always flipped on its head. Like you said, how you don't get the cop's perspective, it's always his perspective.
Yeah. Well, that's nice because at least for one thing, I think if we had the perspective of the cops, because they have the profiler in the film.
Yeah.
If we had her perspective from the start, I think it would have been a quite boring film because we would have known exactly what she was planning, what would have happened.
Yeah.
So there would have been nothing for us to learn. But, I mean, even the premise of the film, they would never let everybody in and then check them on the way out. They'd be checking everybody on the way in and watching for people who run. Because you wouldn't put people in danger like that.
Yeah, well, the realism is always not going to be there.
I understand
to a
that,
point.
but it felt like at least how the police were handling it and the SWAT teams, and it didn't seem far-fetched that stuff like that could have happened in real life. But yeah.
It felt to me it was like an episode of Dexter, but he was in a concert. So this was like, yeah. Because I love Dexter and it felt, he's Dexter and he's trying to escape the concert. So it's home for me,
But that the father-daughter dynamic, I think the actor did really well. Like, I thought his switch for me, was good.
Yeah.
I know for you it didn't really hit, but for me, the switch was really good. Like, at the start of the movie, he's like the best dad, the cool dad. And then his side of, that was the one thing I liked with the camera. So you'd look with him and he'd notice just the littlest minute details at the start.
Yeah.
And then he's piecing it together. Like that part, the first 10 minutes of this movie, I was like, boom. Like it throws you straight in, no dilly-dallying, boom. But then it just fell off because then it just gave you everything I thought. But if he sort of kept piecing things together like that by himself, I think it would have hit better for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. Had it been a bit more like that, a bit less spoon-fed. Like even he meets this guy, Jamie, who's the guy selling the merchandise. He like gives him the passcode, gets the card from him. It's like, it made it so much more easier for him than him trying to work it out on his own. I mean, funny post-credit scene at the end for him.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite clever, quite good. So yeah.
Now, more that I think about it, right?
Yeah.
So then you've got that, but then on contrary to that, you've got the oil scene, which is very methodical. He thought about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the nose. The lady gets the oil splashes on the lady, and then he grabs the apron and stuff. That stuff's planned for him. It's not sort of spoon-fed like you said, which was I enjoyed that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot more I didn't enjoy than I did enjoy, to be fair. All right, guys, gonna give our scores.
Yep.
All right, Moon, how many traps out of 10?
I'll give it 7 traps out of 10.
John?
I'll be on this page with Moon. 7 traps out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it 4.5 traps out of 10. All right, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our socials on TikTok and Instagram, and catch you on the next one. Ciao.